Hi everyone, my name is Dina Marie Blas and my business is Hope on a String. And today we're going to be talking about my business journey into how I came up with my business and what that entails. I got involved with Junior Achievement to be able to help young people find hope and happiness in their lives. So if you can and want to, take out a piece of paper and pencil and write down anything that resonates with you, anything that you want to remember for later. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is me. That's my lovely face. So here we're going to talk about who I am and where I got to be today. My home life. I grew up in a country called Kuwait, and as a young child, I was very bright, did well in school, did well in sports, but most of my childhood was kind of a mess. I suffered a lot of abuse as a young child from my mom, my dad, even my brothers. So it was kind of tough for me growing up and even into my 20s and 30s. But here's what I want you to take away from that. Just because bad things happen to you does not mean that they will define who you are. You know, that's really up to you. And I chose to be a better person than my family. I'm also, as you can tell, an immigrant. I was not born here in the US. So I came here to the US when I was 17 years old to go to college. Oh, by the way, does anybody know where Kuwait is? If you guessed the Middle East, you'd be right. And bonus points if you can find it on a map later. Here's an interesting fact about Kuwait. Did you know that women could not wear shorts in public? It was against the religion for women to show their legs. So that made it kind of hard for us to walk around because it was really, really hot over there. But right now, you know, I appreciate the fact that I'm here in the United States where I can make a difference in people's lives and do what I really want to do and become whoever I want it to become. So I love being here and I always appreciate everything that this country has to offer. So I've always had a desire to help other people. It started out from a very young age. Let me tell you this story about a bully. When I was about 10 or 11 years old, I saw a friend of mine being bullied by a boy in our class because she looked different than everyone else. She had a spine deformity that, you know, kind of made the upper part of her spine stick up like a little bit, almost like a hunchback, but it wasn't her fault. That was the way she was born. She was sitting in her chair with tears streaming down her face while he was towering over her, laughing and pointing. I immediately stood up from my chair and walked over to where they were, and I got in between them. He and I were the same height, so I looked him straight in the face and asked, "What do you think you're doing?" I told him it was not funny and that he should leave her alone. I don't think he knew what to do because no one had ever stood up to him before, so he walked away. Well, she stopped crying, wiped her tears from her face, and I told her that if he ever came back and did that again to let me know. But guess what? He never did. He left her alone and never bothered her again. So my willingness and ability to help people has always been there, even when I was a little kid. So if you're like that, keep that with you because that's a great characteristic to have. Helping people is really what it's all about. So when it came to my jobs and my career, I always wanted opportunities to help people. And that's what I did. I went from job to job that was always in the service industry. And that means helping people do something. All right, well, let's talk about my company. My company, Hope on a String, was founded in February 2018. And again, because I wanted to help people, I wanted to get out and help those who had goals and aspirations. And what that means is they wanted their dreams to come true, but they didn't really know how to do it. So I founded this company, and what I did was I provide products and services to help those people become the hero of their own happiness journey. And what does that mean? Becoming the hero of your own happiness journey, it means that you take responsibility for your own happiness. I just help you with one tool or resource or product to help you get there. And I do that with hand engraved jewelry, workshops, life coaching, planners, printables, and more. And when I started this business, I didn't really know what I was doing because I had never done it before. So I started with local fairs and events to help me kind of understand what I needed to do, how to talk to people, how to sell it, because it really meant a lot to me to help people do what they wanted to do in their lives. And eventually, now I end up working with nonprofits full time. And here you see me donating money to the Resource Center of Dallas after we had done an event for them. So I was really, really, really excited about that. Here's a testimonial from one of my customers who purchased this bracelet. She wanted me to engrave "God is stronger" for her. And this is what she said once she got it. "I love my bracelet. Each day I'm reminded that everything in life, the good and the bad, is in God's will. During the hard times, God is stronger than anything the world can bring me. I've already brought another for a dear friend and coworker and look forward to many more. This is a gift with meaning. Thank you, Dina." The reason I share this testimonial is the last two sentences. This is a gift with meaning. Thank you, Dina. I don't do it for the thanks, but I do it because it gives people hope. It gives people a way to have a daily reminder that they wear for whatever they need in their life. She needed inspiration. Someone else may need a daily reminder to be stronger, to have more confidence. Whatever it is what I engrave on the bracelet for that person. And it means so much to me that she feels better because she has this bracelet, okay? So let's talk about some of my job duties here. Now there's way, way, way too many job duties to list for this presentation. So I kind of put one process down for you to get an idea. All right, so here's a couple. Buy supplies and materials, make and sell the jewelry, contact events and nonprofits to sell my jewelry to them, fulfill any orders online that come in, and then meet with customers to deliver the bracelets. And then I'm constantly coming up with new product ideas. Now, this is just a small sample of what I do when it comes to the bracelets. Let me go into a little bit more detail to show you. All right, so we took the first one, buy supplies and materials. Now, when it comes to this, my first question is, what am I making? Am I making a bracelet, a necklace? You know, what materials am I going to need in order to make that product? Then I go online, I do some pricing with different vendors. Once I find maybe the best quality and the best price, then I do a cost analysis to help me understand, you know, what the profit is going to be, what it's going to cost me to make it, and then I make a decision and I buy it. And once I buy it, then I record the purchase in my bookkeeping system because I've now got to know what does that cost, and it comes out of my banking account. Hope that makes sense. All right, and this process, just so you know, could take several days to do or sometimes longer. So when I'm making a new product, it just depends on timing, pricing, etc. So it's not like going into a store and just buying what you want. You've got to put some thought into it, and you want the best quality material as well because you want your customers to really enjoy what they get. And of course, running the business with all these details, you've got to pay attention to all of that because if you miss something important, it could really affect your business. All right. And here we go, quality control. And as you can tell, Bella, my cat, is my quality control manager. She inspects every item to make sure it meets our high standards. Okay, I'm just kidding. She doesn't do that. But I caught her inspecting one of my bracelets and I took a picture of it. But I'll explain more about Bella a little later on. All right, external skills for success. Now, these are skills that you would need in order to really deal with customers and run your business well. Active listening. Are you actually listening to what someone is saying, or are you pretending to listen? Effective communication. Do you know how to talk about what you're selling? Do you know how to make sure that they understand what they're getting? You know, the back and forth of a proper conversation. Adaptability. Can you change? Can you switch things around when something doesn't work? Sales. Do you know how to make money for your business? Computers. Do you know how to use a computer? Do you know how to use the programs in the computer? Social media. Do you know how to promote your business on social media? Do you know how to create posts that sell? Finances. Do you know how to handle money? Do you know how to keep your books in check? Do you know how much money is going in and how much money is going out? Marketing. Marketing is all about introducing your business to the world. Internal skills for success. A desire to help others is first and foremost, I believe, in my particular business, because if you don't have a desire to help, then it really comes across fake. And I'm really all about being authentic when helping someone. Empathy, understanding what someone wants and why they want it. Compassion, understanding their story. Determination to keep going. Creativity is a big characteristic you need and a skill you need for my business, because obviously you're coming up with different ideas, things that are cute, things that are meaningful. Confidence, the ability to talk to people, knowing that you are providing a service that you actually love. Ability to learn from mistakes. This is a big one. I had to learn this myself, because I would make a mistake and feel bad about it. But then I realized that I'm still learning and I will always continue to learn. So I have to be okay with making mistakes and moving on. And of course, resilience is a big factor, because with a business or a job or anything, it's not always going to go the way you want it to go. So you want to be able to pick yourself up and keep going, make a change, do whatever needs to be done. So that's a really, really big skill. Training and education. Okay, so here's a big thing that a lot of people wonder about. Do you need a college degree? No, you don't actually need a college degree to do what I'm doing. But here's what I learned when I went to college. I learned how to deal with people, different types of people, different ethnicities, different religions, all sorts of things, because it was, kids from all over the place that were coming to learn. I learned how to make friends, how to make connections, which helped me have conversations now as an adult, to talk to people and learn what they need, how can I help them, etc. And the biggest thing I learned from college is how to meet deadlines without someone checking in on you or following up with you. In college, you don't have parents to say, did you get your homework done? How did you do on that test, etc. You don't have anyone checking up on you. You have to become responsible enough to meet those deadlines and do what you're supposed to do without someone else there. So I think it's important to go to college. Do you absolutely need it to run my type of business? No. Maybe others? No, not really. But I think it does lend to different skills that you could get from there. Business trainings. I think business training is important when you have a business, especially if you don't have natural skills that come to you. These could be software related, like bookkeeping to keep your finances in check, social media training, whether you want to learn Instagram or Pinterest, so you understand how to work those, those apps properly. Soft skills, how to communicate or negotiate, even network. All those things, you're always going to keep learning as you grow up, as you have your own business, in your career, in your job. A lot of the times they'll provide those trainings for you. If you're a business owner, you have to go out and figure out what it is that you need to learn or something that you're not really good at. So always keep that in mind. Career changes. This is a big one for me, because I had a job until, 2012, when I was let go from my last corporate job and I started my own business. But here's what I want you to take away from career changes. You're not going to love every job you have, but there's always something you can learn from it. Like what you don't like, or what you're not good at, or what you need more training on, or what you find exciting or fun. I think jobs are there to provide, money for your bills, but at the same time, they're also there for you to learn skills. So always figure out what it is that you learn from each job. If you don't like it, okay, what do you like? The second thing, follow your passion and curiosity, but pay your bills. This is important because I believe in doing what you love all of the time, but sometimes that's not possible. So my advice is always to make sure your bills are taken care of, while pursuing or getting ready for what you really want to do. That's my advice. Don't sacrifice yourself to do what you think you love and not pay your bills, because as an adult growing up, that's going to be very important, and you want to make sure that you're always on top of that. All right, well, here's your discussion question with your teacher. If you were entering the working world tomorrow, what do you already know about choosing, getting, and keeping a job? All right, my business and COVID-19. Well, as you know, lots of things changed because of COVID, and the world needed to adjust. Well, for me and my business, before COVID, I was actually doing quite a few in-person events. So I would go out and go to places and actually sell my jewelry in person, talk to people, etc. I was working with nonprofits, visiting their sites, etc., making sure that I knew what events they needed me to go to, etc. And we all did that in person. And also I met with lots of customers, delivering their items or talking to them and so forth. So a lot of what I did was in person. Now, COVID and me after, after COVID, I have gone to exclusively doing online events and online sales, because obviously I cannot do things in person anymore. I'm also started to donate bracelets to essential workers. Here you can see a group of bracelets that I made for some Walmart employees who live near me. And also what I started to do was think of other products I could offer online, like planners and printables, to help people focus on their future and to help them take steps to stay focused on their goals. So everything I do now is online, and I am looking forward to going back to being in person, but for right now, I'm going to do whatever I can to help people feel better. So change is constant. As we all know, that the world had to adapt and rethink what they did as far as meeting with people and being around lots of people. And what we can do is create an ability to change. And I know you listening to this right now, you've had to do many things to change the way you attend school, how you meet with your friends, things like that. And I'm very proud of you for that, because you should never give up on any situation, regardless if it's personal or not, and always come up with ways to keep thinking that you can do it. And the biggest advice I can give you is to always ask this question when you're in a tough situation. What can you do? I actually have this on my wall in my office. I look at it every time I have a problem and get frustrated. It helps me refocus my energy into what I can do now in the moment, and then I feel better, because if we focus on what we can't do, I think we just add more to that frustration. So if you're getting in a situation and you're frustrated or you're angry, just think about what can you do instead of what you can't do. And you'll feel a lot better, and you'll feel productive as well. All right, here's what I promised you, Bella. 4 years old. Bella was actually rescued by the SPCA in July of 2018. She was rescued from a hoarding situation. And what that means is that there was someone who just had so many cats and dogs, and there were too many, and they weren't living in proper conditions. So the SPCA got her in July of 2018, and then I rescued her in 2018. And what that means is I went and adopted her. So she did come with a few issues because of the hoarding situation, like missing teeth and having scabs around her body. And it seemed like she was in a couple of fights with other cats and stuff. But she jumped on me when I went to go look at adopting a cat, and she wouldn't let me leave without her. She is quite a talker. But now she's healthy and happy. And as you can see, she's very content with life. And we love to do that and adopt from shelter. So if you ever think of adopting an animal, make sure you go to your local shelter and do that. All right, I want to leave you with this last quote that I try to teach my clients and share with my nieces and nephews. People who care about you will never expect you to be a perfect person or perfect in anything you do. As long as you do your best, that will always be enough for them and for you. And I want you to take that to heart. There is no perfect person in this world, so don't try to achieve it. Always do your best, and you will be good enough. All right, I want to thank you for having me today. And here's my contact information. If you want, take a screenshot, take a picture with your camera, contact me if you have any questions. If you'd like more information about what I do, please go ahead and let me know, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I post lots of images from the words that I engrave for my customers, and share more information about what I do to help people reach their goals. Thank you again, and I wish you the wonderful day, and take care.